Hi, my name is John, and today I'm going to be discussing with you and telling you about our new raid bot. Now, yes, a lot of people have, raid bots going around, but I'm going to be doing a lot of discussing with you to tell you how this, kind of how it works, how I do it, and compare it to what I've seen from other people. Now, this is our raid bot right here in our server. Now, as you can see, scrolling up, it changes. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people they just do the same one over and over and over and over, and that's great. But a lot of people want to see something different. They don't want the same thing over and over. So once I figured out how to do it, I got a little training from somebody, and I had asked another friend of mine if it was possible, and he told me no. But I think they just didn't know how to do it. I'm not gonna say how I'm doing it, but I will say that I do change them quite frequently. Now, since I'm working, I'm not able to change them as frequently as I'd like to. So I can only change them once a day. But when I'm off, I change them multiple times per day. And I usually have it set to where it's at least like, about 10 Pokemon. Anywhere from 10 to from 10 to 12 Pokemon. So it'll change the raids. See, it's not like Sword and Shield. With Sword and Shield, you could only do like maybe 6 or 7 or whatever was going to be in that den. That's all you could do. Scarlet and Violet is different. From 1 to 5 star, you can do any one of those Pokemon as long as they're anywhere from 1 to 5 star. You could do it in any den. It doesn't matter as long as it's not a 6 or 7 star den. But 1 to 5 star den, you can virtually do every single one of them as long as if it's a 5 star, you can do it in any den. There's no limitation. As long as it's the 1 to 5 star dens, you can do them. You don't have to switch dens like you did in Sword and Shield. See, Sword and Shield, some of them they only had like 2 Pokemon for that den, so you can only do those two. You had to manually, switch them all the time. And this time it's a lot different. It's a lot different. Now, most of the time, or sometimes I'll stream them, but other times I'm not gonna stream it all the time, but it is in our Discord server. It's free to look at, free to use. Now I'm also gonna explain how I do this. The reason is 10. See, if I leave it on like most people set it to where everybody has to join with the code, or it'll just keep trying and trying until somebody joins. I've set mine up a little differently. I've set mine up to where, let's say you didn't want this Pokemon and you want to see what the next one is, but you don't want to join in. So because you don't want to join in, because if I leave the code here like this and I set it up, to where it's going to continue until somebody joins it. Well, if nobody joins it, it's never going to change. So what I've done is I've set it up to where it'll do the code twice. See how it's got the code right there on this picture? Let me click on it. So see right here, it's got this code right here on the picture, right? So it'll do it like this twice in a row. After that, it'll switch it to let anyone join. Now, sometimes I know you guys have seen it to where you try to join it and it says, or you try to do, like, if you're trying to host it, you're trying to host a raid, right? And you sit there and you click it and it says communication error. Okay, well, if it does that, the bot doesn't know that it had a communication error, so it think it completed that. So what it's gonna do, because it can't catch up or like that, or it doesn't know if it completed it or not, it's just gonna start the count all over. It'll do the same Pokemon right here, 5 stars and everything, but it'll go back to the link code. And so when it does that, it causes, it's a glitch in the game. That's what causes it. But if you want it to go to the next raid, all you got to do is just go in there and join it. Whether you win or lose, don't matter. You don't even have to catch it. All you have to do is go in there and sit there and win or lose, and after it's over, it'll go to the next raid. So that's the way I have it set. I have it set to where it does that. So If there's no communication errors, it'll do the code twice. If it doesn't find anybody on the next one, it'll do let anyone join with no code. So that's how that works. So that's how I've set it up, and it's and it's marvelous. A lot of people like it because I've got like 10 of them, at least 10 to 12 different Pokemon that it'll cycle through, and so you have to go and get the seeds and stuff like that to put it in. Unfortunately, this it does require a hack switch, to sit there and inject the seeds. Now, let me explain this to a lot of people so people don't. It does not sit there and make the Pokemon hacked. It doesn't touch any of that. It does not sit there and gen the Pokemon at all. These are perfectly legit that you can catch the Pokemon. There is zero risk. All this thing does is it turns around and see every Pokemon that is in the dens. Every single Pokemon that are in the dens has a seed. So it's like a social security number. It's attached to each one because each one has a different social security number because it's specific. It has different IV. Some of them have different IVs. Some of them have different abilities. So every single Pokemon. So if this Pokemon right here has this many IVs right here, and let's say we found one that had this one where this one was a 1, it would be a different seed for this one. So every time you change something on there, it's a different seed. So all we can do is inject the seed so you can find, so that way I can get to the shiny Pokemon. Right here, see how those black stars like that? It's shiny. I only host shiny Pokemon. Only time I'll host a non-shiny Pokemon is for the events that come out because those are not shiny. But I will not host a Pokemon that is non-shiny for anybody because I'm lucky if I get one person asking, and it's extremely rare. And I don't want to waste a slot on somebody because they want a non-shiny Pokemon. A lot of people don't want non-shiny, so I'm going to go with what everybody wants. I try to pick random Pokemon. I don't like a lot of people only want to do them for the abilities, but there's other people that do it for the candies and the stuff like that. So I do them randomly. I'll just pick out a random Pokemon. If you have a suggestion, you can come right here where it says SCVI, which is Scarlet and Violet Mon suggestion, and put it right here in this box, and I'll see it. I'll look at it, and I'll put it in on the next time I put Pokemon on there. And it has it right here. This is our sticky bot, and just basically sticks the same message over and over, so people can actually see it and get to it. Another thing is, so there's zero risk. You have absolutely no risk. There is no risk for you to be able to, go in there and catch the Pokemon. You can catch it perfectly fine. See right here, now since it's in the battle, and then it's right here. It shows a picture. It's preparing the next raid, and sure, see, there's the next raid. And this raid is rare candy, experience candies, and so it's rare to get them to drop Herbert Mysticus. Again, I can try to do that, but I just do them by random. I don't sit there and have one that just is going to only put that one thing over and over. I would have to have another bot for that, and I don't have the funds for something like that. So I'm just going to do it randomly. People seem to love it. I mean, there's 10 to 12 different Pokemon that I host in there. Sometimes I think once I did 13. So it was a lot. So I try to do different species, and it'll keep going through the list. Doesn't do it randomly; it goes in order. So if you want to see the next one, go into that raid. If you go into that raid, win or lose, whether you catch it or not, when you come out, it'll do the next one because it will not hit all ready to go and start the raid unless somebody else is right here. So once somebody else joins, then it will go ahead and go into the raid and stuff like that. So I wanted to share all this stuff with you guys. Sometimes I might stream it. Sometimes, most of the time, it's going to be just on Discord. Uh, but a lot of times I will try to stream it if I can. I really don't like streaming it too much because it makes the Switch get too hot. So that's kind of reason why I don't host it too much. I'm just waiting on waiting on a few other things, I'm trying to do. So, but I will try to stream it a little more. I haven't been because I've been working on a lot of stuff. But any this is exactly what I'm going to continue to do because this is very popular right now. And when the DLCs come out, we'll have ours running as well. So we will do what we can. We take all kinds of suggestions right here, so you can easily put your suggestions on what you might want me to do. Just keep in mind it needs to be shiny and it needs to be 5 stars. I do 6-star raids once a week. The reason I don't do them all the time is because they're not as popular. There's a few people that like them, but a lot of people say they're very hard. So I try to do those once a week. So that's the schedule that I put it on. Everything else I do, every single day. It's not hard to run this, so it's not like it's taking a lot of time. It takes maybe 10 to 15 minutes to set it up because I put so many Pokemon. If I was just doing one like everybody else, it'd take 3 to 4 minutes. So it doesn't take long. So again, anytime y'all have a suggestion, y'all can easily put it right there in the box where it says SCVI Mon Suggestion. If you go from the top of the server all the way down, of course, there's going to be channels in here that, that's not going to be seen on your end. And that's just because I'm the owner of the server. So if you go from the top, it's in the section where it says right here. See, it says SCVI rates. It's a category. So see right here, this one's Discord updates, raids, frequently asked questions, Pokemon posts, battles, and so forth. So if you go all the way down, you should see this section right here. I always remember it's right above where it says rank level. So rank level and right here. And here's your Mon Suggestion. And you can also put a review, and tell me what you think of it. Of course, everybody loves them. Because sometimes I can put Herba Mysticas and sometimes I can put other items and stuff, so I can, rotate them. It's an amazing thing that I'm able to do for y'all, and I will continue to do that. But I wanted to put this video out to show you, so that way a lot of you were asking, how do I get to the raids and what raids do y'all do? I do them by random. So I'm going to have 10 to 12 different Pokemon that are completely random. They will all be shiny unless it's an event, and in that case, I don't do shiny on that one. And every time I do the event, it's ran with that one Pokemon only, and it's by itself. I don't mix it with other 6-star Pokemon. That's another thing. 1 to 5 stars, you can do them in the same dens perfectly. 6 and 7-star, they can only be ran in the black crystal dens. So there's a big difference. You can't mix 1 through 5 or 6 to 7. You're not able to do that. And that's where a lot of people get confused. And so, yeah, I can do 1 to 5 stars perfectly fine in the same den with no problem. But 6 and 7 stars are unique to, the black crystal dens. So if I'm doing a 7-star or a 6-star, and you want me to try to do a 5-star, I'm like, I can't do it. I can't add that to the rotation because of the simple fact I'm not able to do that. So, this is what I wanted to show y'all. If y'all have any questions, y'all can easily make a comment and actually come to the Discord. I will put my Discord link and my Facebook link on the video description. So I hope to see you guys soon, and thank you very much.